What's up, everybody? This is Ryan from Helmet to Helmet. Kellie is on a business call, so I might have to dip out here if she gets too close to my room. But we're talking about the Thursday night NFL opener. A lot of people, including myself, thought it was a weird matchup. The Chiefs versus the Lions seemed like a mismatch. A lot of people had hopes for the Lions. They've had a lot of high draft picks, and they've made a lot of good draft picks with those high picks. Aiden Hutchinson, Penei Sewell, and some good other picks. Amon-Ra St. Brown, um, Brian Branch. They just got a good team building there. But the Chiefs are just a powerhouse. They're the reigning Super Bowl winners. They beat the Eagles, who are also a powerhouse. And that was a big win for them because the Eagles were one of the biggest threats in the Super Bowl for them. The 49ers were too. But Thursday, man, that was just a Dan Campbell type football game. Definitely a Dan Campbell game. He forced his style of football on Andy Reid and outcoached Andy Reid in every single way, which, as an Eagles fan, I like to see. Andy Reid used to annoy the hell out of me with those little swing passes and screens to Todd Pinkston that never ever worked. And then he goes to Kansas City, and within 2 years, they're fucking one of the best. So it's annoying. He annoys me. I still got love for him. I don't mind seeing him win, but I like seeing other coaches, especially a roughneck like Dan Campbell, outcoach him. It was really a battle in the trenches and a battle of efficiency that was the story of the game. Believe it or not, Jared Goff was the more efficient quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. Goff completed more passes while attempting less passes. He also threw for more yards while attempting less passes. So Jared Goff outplayed Mahomes, and a lot of that had to do with the offensive line and the run game he had to lean on that Mahomes didn't have to lean on. We also got to talk about, is Patrick Mahomes starting to miss Tyreek Hill? Marquez Valdez-Scantling had a decent yard per catch, couple big catches, but and Justin Watson, look at my notes here, also had a good yard per catch. But neither of those guys can spread the field and open everything up for Travis Kelce or whoever the running back underneath, and also make plays downfield, average 60 yards a catch and have 5 touchdowns in a game. Those aren't those guys. Tyreek Hill is special. Juju Smith-Schuster, none of those guys, all three of those guys together can't touch Tyreek Hill. You can't replace a guy like that. So Mahomes might be missing him. Mahomes got that bomb arm, and no one can get open deep for him to use it, and that's got to be frustrating. It's also got to be frustrating when the pass rush gets to you. You try to step up into the pocket, and the defensive tackle's in your face. But the Lions did spend very much on the defensive line. They spent the second overall pick on Aiden Hutchinson, who looks like he's going to be a monster for the next decade. An absolute monster. I think the real story of the game, though, was the running game, and not the running game of the Chiefs. The running game of the Detroit Lions. They have spent so long and so much money and so much draft capital building what they have now. Their offensive line is ridiculous. If you look at it from left to right, you got Taylor Decker, former first-round pick, veteran, bussing with the boys. Yeah. But he's 6'7", 318 pounds. And then you go to center, you got Frank Ragnow, who, besides Travis Kelce, or maybe not besides Travis Kelce, is the best center in the league. Much different type of center than Travis or Justin. What the fuck am I talking about? Justin Kelce. But Ragnow's 6'5", 310, which is a ridiculous size for a center. He overpowers defensive tackles and creates lanes for running backs up the middle. And then we have our old friend, Ali Pulivarti Vaitai. And I know how to say that so well because I'm an Eagles fan. But that dude is an absolute beast in size and strength. 6'6", 302. Just a massive guy. Massive. And then finally, you have the Lions. Very intelligent, smart pick from a couple years ago. Not going for a wide receiver playmaker, going for the trenches. Penei Sewell out of Oregon. The guy has all the power you want and is he's a dancing bear. He's a pass blocking expert. I wouldn't be surprised if in an NFL season he would give up 0 sacks in one of the seasons here. But anyway, Sewell's 6'6", 325. All these guys over 300 easy. And then Dan Campbell, former tight end, of course, has Sam Laporta at tight end. 6'4", 245. That's a big tight end. 6'4". That's the height of he's one of those guys, if he put on some weight, could be a swing right tackle, but not at 245 pounds. But still, he's a good blocking tight end, which is exactly what Dan Campbell wants. And then on top of that, you have Jamar Gibbs, who they drafted 8th overall this year. And they signed veteran David Montgomery. And it looks like it'll be a good team up. I think it was very obvious that Gibbs is going to be the feature back, but he needs somebody to take some of the load because he's not a large back, but he is a super explosive running back who can do anything down to return kicks. I don't think you want him back there blocking. But to show how much more efficient Gibbs was, Gibbs touched the ball 9 total times. Montgomery touched it 21 total times. Gibbs had 60 yards. Montgomery had 74. That means Gibbs, every time he touched the ball, averaged 6.7 yards a carry, almost 7 yards. And Montgomery averaged 3.6. That's a pretty decent rushing average. But Gibbs was averaging 6 yards per rush and 6.7 yards per touch. And you could just see the talent out there. He's flashing all over the place. And that's on a pretty talented Chiefs defense. I know Chris Jones was in his suit on the sideline watching, but that line still has George Karlaftis, and they got some talent there. They're still the Chiefs. They're still the Chiefs. And I think the Lions also have a pretty good duo of wide receivers, especially for Jared Goff. They got Josh Reynolds, who is a big 6'3", 200-pound receiver. can get open over the middle, take a hit. He can be a jump ball receiver in the red zone. He showed that in college by setting the all-time single-season receiving touchdown record at Texas A&M, and he hopes to bring a lot of that to the Lions, and it looks like he should be able to. Goff is showing some really good accuracy out there, and if he can throw that jump ball or that fade in the end zone, Reynolds is 6'3" with long arms. There's not a lot of quarterbacks that can defend a ball that's thrown perfectly to a guy like that in the end zone. And then the perfect complement to a big, tall, possession receiver, touchdown receiver is a small, quick, route running, explosive receiver. And they have Amon-Ra St. Brown to run that role. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a first down machine. He's Goff's safety net, and you can tell easily. He looks there first a lot. He looks off to look to other receivers. He's just one of the better route runners in the game, and he knows where the first down line is. So it's 3rd and long, 4th and 5, and they're passing. He's just past that first down line, and he's open, and he doesn't drop balls. So, the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. They're still going to be in it, come postseason time. They're still going to be the Chiefs. They're going to be in it till the end of the season. I'm not saying they make the Super Bowl, but they'll be a factor in the playoffs. But I also think the Lions could be a factor in the playoffs. And I kind of hope they are. I like seeing these teams, especially teams with rabid fan bases like Detroit has, finally break out. They have just been so bad ever since I was a kid. Even with Barry Sanders, even with Calvin Johnson, they had one of the best running backs and one of the best wide receivers ever. Not at the same time, but and both their careers were just wasted. And now they finally have a complete team and not just one superstar with a bunch of shitheads around him. So they built it right, built it in the trenches. High picks in the trenches, Penei Sewell, Aiden Hutchinson. It's going to pay off. It's tough. Come playoff time, you win in the trenches. You win with the run game. You win with stopping the run. You don't usually win with flashy, fast, explosive football on offense and all speed on defense. A team like the Lions will wear you out. They can just run Dave Montgomery's head into your tacklers, 35 times. And then Jamar Gibbs will run right past you, using his 3-point whatever 40-yard time and just zoom past you while you're gasping for breath because Dave Montgomery just jammed his helmet into your stomach, and Frank Ragnow just threw you to the ground, and Halle Pulivarti Vaitai just stood in place, and you couldn't get around him because he's standing there. Alright guys, we got a box opening later. Kellie will be in that video opening the box. I'll be the man on the cam. We have a Sage High Series Hitbox, which I know Sage is Sage, but they come with 3 autographs for a box. They're only like $20, and the autograph cards are actually pretty nice looking. And then we have a Leaf Valiant box coming, which the Valiant cards are real nice. This box comes with 3 autographs and 1 black graded 9 or higher autographed card, which is really the selling point on that box. I think next we're going to dip into the Leaf Flash box. They're probably the best looking cards of all the Leaf boxes. Leaf Memories, I've checked out. They're the cheapest of the hobby boxes, but they're also the plainest looking. Sometime here soon, I'm going to get a Leaf Metal Jumbo box because it comes with 9 signatures. And that's just fun to pull 9 signatures. But we'll be pulling, we get 3 plus 1 is 4, plus another 3. We'll be pulling 7 signatures today. Plus, it's not like all signatures. There's other cards, parallels, prisms, refractors, all that good stuff. So that'll be happening sometime tonight. So check back. It'll be up. Love you guys. Fighting the good fight. As always, I appreciate the support. And, well, I'll talk to you later.